How's it, guys? South African Chris here from New Zealand, and we're back with another episode here today on the 11th of December. It's Friday, at least in New Zealand it is. You see I'm moving away my stock finder here. For those of you who don't know already, this is my own developed tool for stock market investment. It's called Market Investor Pro, and it's something I developed to help me with my trading strategy, which is pretty much trying to make as many trades as I can afford to in a month, and then during those we would experience some wins and losses. Here we can see November. You can see the green lights are wins, red lights are losses, so more wins than losses, which means profit, right? I don't use fundamental trading. Instead I use technical indicators, and I do technical analysis, and I've also developed a little bit of an AI or machine learning tool that helps me do some trading, which I also run from time to time. Now this tool of mine is always under development, and I'm always adding new features, changing stuff, or fixing bugs or whatever. But what you see here is some parameters that I've built in to look at certain criteria. That is the minimum last close price of a stock, the maximum close price of a stock, the volume, some stochastic values. I want it to be at the bottom of that stochastic level, close to the 30 line, so anything above 20 and below 34, so that I can see which stocks are currently oversold so that I can go in and buy. I'm also looking for stacked EMAs and SMAs so that we get a kind of a bullish thing going here, and you'll see there's also the reverse of that for a bearish type market. And then I've got a minimum ATR here, an average true range value of 3. So currently it's come up with a whole bunch of stocks, and we'll go through them in a second. Let's just look at the disaster that was yesterday. So I got completely thrashed. I've had a good week up until Wednesday, made some profits. Make some good profits on Pfizer, made some good profits on Appian Corporation, and made some good profits on, who's this guy here, Stitch Fix. But I've made some huge losses so far on Coupa Software, currently losing on Infi, and then these last 3, which came up through another deep learning system that I was using, just testing it out really. But that's okay. These losses are still below what I have set as my maximum loss, all apart from Coupa Software. So I've got a stop loss set to more or less $273, and then which is 1R in these terms, and then I've got a profit value or a take profit ratio here of 2R, or 0.5 of percent of what I've got here at the top. So this is 0.5%, which equates to about 547 point whatever dollars there. So usually I would cut my losses and move on once a stock is going down, but in terms of Coupa Software, something strange here happened. Well, not strange really, I kind of predicted that yesterday, but you can see that when I bought, stock took a bit of a dip, so it opened lower already. So in the pre-market we've had some losses, and then it went down further. The next day, yesterday, on the 10th, we can see that there was a bit more bullish action there, and I've recovered some of those losses. But what we see here from the stochastics is we've hit below. This is where I bought in when it just turned back to above that bottom line there of value of 30 on the stochastics, but we have a downtrend again, so we have a little dip, right? So a little double dip happening here. So I'm expecting that to go down a bit, and then hopefully things look better in the market and that picks up. So based on that, I'm gonna hang on to this one a little bit and see if I can reduce that loss. Even if I don't make a profit, it's it'll be good just not to suffer such a massive loss. Anyway, we'll keep a close eye on that. I might have to make a call the next day or two. Next one I've got marked here, and let's just look at that, is what is that, Dollar General Corporation. So again, they're below the stochastics here. They've also just gone further down, so not looking really great there. In fact, I think I'll keep it there for a bit, but it's not looking too good. Renewable Energy Group. So from what I've seen this week, we definitely have had a huge crash, or not a crash, but a setback. Crash is too harsh. A setback in the market when it comes to technology. So you'll see here on Finviz, what I do is I go to finviz.com and I go to groups, and here you can see the 1 day relative performance, 1 week relative performance, and 1 month relative performance, and so on. So I usually look at the first three. So we can see energy was doing well yesterday, basic materials and consumer, technology and healthcare doing not too bad in the 1 day. 1 week we see energy, basic materials and healthcare, so that's got a lot to do with the COVID vaccine, companies like Pfizer and BioNTech and whatever, skyrocketing there a bit and driving that up. And in the 1 month we see energy at the top, technology second, and then consumer. So keep that in mind. So energy is actually the industry that I'm looking for. I've had a bit of rap on the knuckles with technology this week, so I'm a bit weary, and healthcare I'm not going to get into. I think that's only limited to a handful of companies driving up that stocks, and then basic materials looking pretty good. I've also mentioned this before, but I go to sectorspider.com, and here you can also check various industries and you can see how they perform against the S&P 500. So when you click on that industry fund or sector fund, you can then see the black line is the S&P excuse me, and then the purple there in this case would be the technology fund. So we can see that the technology is performing well, but it also has a bit of a dip there at the top. I don't know if you can clearly make that out, but there's a bit of a downtrend. So this happens from time to time. You can see that has happened in the past also. Overall, still a steady climb. So maybe in the short run, which is where I like to trade, day trading, 1 to a few days, it's not a great thing, but in the longer run, hopefully we'll recoup some of those losses. Now, I'm currently here on tradingview.com, and the reason I did this is I just wanted to show you, if we look at NASDAQ, let me go to this one first. Let's go to the S&P 500. So I've opened up a candle chart here just so we can see what's going on with these industries, because that's important, or these markets. And you can see there on the stochastics, it seems like we've had a very sudden, we've had a prolonged period of overbought, which is not a good time to buy. You don't want to buy when the stock is overbought. This is a good time for selling, and the market has picked up on that, and there's a sudden drop there, so it means a lot of selling off of stocks. It doesn't mean the market is tanking. It doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It doesn't mean the economy is crashing. It means that perhaps a lot of investors are taking profit. There's been a good run up. We can see that here, and every now and then we have a little bit of a sell off, a dip, so that we can take some profits from that, and perhaps that in combination with some of the other factors happening in the industry has an effect, and that's where we currently are. So maybe it's still a bullish market. We're not in a bearish market, but I need to just keep this into consideration when going into stocks. Now, if we look at the NASDAQ here as well, we can see exactly the same trend, right? So it's exactly the same thing. Nice run-ups, few dips in the past, and then the sudden drop, boom. So on the MACD line here at the bottom, the blue is above the orange, so it's still bullish, and the same for the S&P 500, but it's important to look at what the industry is doing and what the market is doing. So, having said that, let's look at some of the stocks that we might want to get into. Before I do that, I did buy Ulta Beauty yesterday, so I should actually unmark this one. And if we go to Ulta, you'll see it's here somewhere there at the bottom. So I did buy that yesterday, so I'll unmark that. This McKesson Corporation I did buy. Discovery I did not buy yet, so I was waiting to see what happened on the stochastics, and you can see it's right here at the top. It's actually bouncing off the top there, so it's actually pretty good, but not a good time to buy yet. Cummins, let's look at this one. So if we look at the indicators, you can see it was a good time to buy a day ago, and I probably did that. Yes, there we go, CMI, so went in on that one. What else did I buy here? So BlackRock was the other one that I was watching. So let's have a look at BlackRock and see what's happening. Bit of a doji candle there, which could be good or bad, really. It's not at the bottom here of the stochastics. I think Monday would be a good day to look at this one and seriously consider it. Okie dokie. So I've got a few that has been added here yesterday, and I didn't get into them, and that was because either they weren't ready yet, or I wanted to first see what the market is doing. So if we look at AON, And let's look at the indicators there. It's not what I like to see. I see a massive dip here below even the SMA 150 and probably the SMA 200, which is not shown here. But yeah, according to stochastics, good time to buy. It's oversold at the moment, so good time to buy, and it's just heading back up. The MACD shows bullish, and it is above the red, but it's doing what I usually refer to as duck face. It means that there is an imminent intersection there in the next few days, currently as it is. So it doesn't. I would watch this one, but I don't think I'll get into AON today. Let's look at some of the others on the list. So we've got HubSpot, that is trending upwards. Stochastics looking good. Everything actually looking really great. I'll definitely trade HubSpot today. Technology has been suffering a bit, so I do this with, you know, much careful thought, but I'll do that. So let's add a new trade here, and there we go, HubSpot. So holding thumbs that we make some profit there. Let's look at Lululemon Athletica. So on, let's just see something here. So HubSpot, Lululemon. So this is consumer. So this should be a good industry at the moment. Not a duck face really, no. Imminent intersection, heading back up at the stochastics, looking good on the RSI. I think this is a winner. So I'm definitely going to trade this one. I'm clicking on this button here just to get the post-market price. We're currently in post-market as it stands here. So I always click on this button. The original price would be the closing price, but then there's a post-market price as well, and that would be the one that I would buy at because I would go into it straight away. It's showing a profit there, but don't worry, we'll fix that in a minute. There's no profit yet. It's assuming I bought you know, at the original market price. MicroStrategy Incorporated, so technology again. Scared after yesterday, once bitten, twice shy, but let's have a look. So we can see a snapback here to the EMA 18, which is expected. Very bullish, very bullish MACD. The stochastics not there yet. In fact, I think it's about to turn around. I think we're going to see something similar to what we see here in a sharp turn back. But until then, I'm gonna leave it there. I'll definitely mark that one. And finally, we've got Willis Towers Watson Public Limited Company. Jeez. I don't like the candle patterns here. Stochastics looks okay. I see a bit of a duck face forming. No, not going to do this one. In fact, I'm going to remove it from my stocks. Okay, that deals with the stocks that we've had before. Now let's look at the new ones today. I'm going to run through these and quickly shortlist them because there is a whole of 17 of them, and then I'll resume and talk you through it. I'll be back in a second. And we're back. Alright, so I've run through all of these and I've shortlisted a few. Now let's have a look at those. First one here, Alliance Data Systems Corporation. Indicators looking good. We could see there was a bit of a bump and a snapback. Couple of bumps actually, pretty good. Stacked DMAs as we expect. Lots of room for profit. So we're currently on 74 and we've hit a previous high recently here of 85. So definitely something to look at. Stochastics looking good in the next day or so. MACD looking okay. And RSI looking okay. So I'm going to mark this one. I won't get into it yet, this particular trade, but I'm going to watch it carefully. Advanced Micro Devices. First of all, candles looking good. Similar story, bit of a snapback. Seems to be a trending thing in technology. And if we look at the stochastics, we're almost at a good point to look at buying. MACD is not too bad. There is a crossover, but it's more than 5 days ago, or trade days ago, so that should be okay. And we see a bit of a bump there on the RSI, which is a good indication. So I think this might be a good stock by Monday, most probably, after today. So I'm going to mark it. AMP, so let's look at this one. AMP, yeah, we're not too far away from that EMA 18, stochastics almost there. Very bullish MACD, looking good. And we wanted actually to turn back up to that bottom line on the stochastic. So all of these looking great, just I'm not sure it's the right time to get into it yet. But I'll see once I've run through a few of these. I at least want to make a few trades today. Arcturus Therapeutics Holdings. I said I didn't want to get into the healthcare, but I looked at this one very quickly and it looks like they've got some real good potential. High of 129 there. 3 trade days ago. Stochastics almost there, very bullish. MACD, very good. RSI, everything looking great. Again, I'm going to mark this one. Feels like I've got a lot of great potential trades here, but none of them ready to trade yet. Let's see this one. Is it ready? Almost. Okay, so here, little bit weird. We've had a downward or a bearish trend here on this stock, most definitely, and then a sudden turnaround of things. And currently, it just so happens that all these EMAs and SMAs are stacked in a bearish manner. Stochastics not looking too bad, and the MACD looking very bullish, and also the RSI. So although I usually wait until it turns back, I think this one is going to hit and just head up again straight away. I think there was some profit taking there, and the stock might continue to do well. So let's get the current market price, $97. That's good. Let's record this one as a trade. There we go. And I'm going to just circle back to some of the other ones that we were looking at, because I want to do another trade. Oops, and I have accidentally broken the software a little bit. Anyway, we're back. All right, so really not there yet on ARCT. So let's give that a bit of time. Let's look at AMD. I do like AMD. I've made some profit on AMD before, so I think AMD is always good. I want something with a bit more aggressive MACD at this stage, considering all my other losses, and this might be the one. So I think we're gonna get into, now looking at the RSI, it looks like we're trending down there a little bit. Maybe not this one. Let's go back to MicroStrategy Incorporated. Sorry, I'm jumping back and forth, but this is my thought process as I go through these. Here we go. I'm going to do this one. I can see a slight uptrend there on the RSI. Very bullish MACD, the blue above the red signal line. And it looks like we're about to have hit a low point on the oversold area, and we're close to the EMA there. So all the signs looking good. Using my trading strategy, of course, might be different for you. So there we go. That's my trades for today. So what did we do? So HubSpot, Lulu, BXP, and MSTR, MicroStrategy Incorporated. Those are my trades for today. And remember, as you can see, there's a real danger. The stock market is volatile. It's easy to lose money. In fact, let me just click on this button and hope nothing crashes so we can get the latest prices in our last close list here, and then we'll see where we stand at this stage with real profits and losses. So market is dangerous. You need to know what you're doing. You can see I'm currently running at a loss here with my open trades on $1,348. There is some profit though, so the offset is still in the positive, but this for me is bread and butter. So you know, I need to improve on this. It's already heading towards the first third of the month, and usually at this stage I would be on higher levels. So definitely tough and definitely difficult. It's not always winning. Do your research, trade safe, and please hit the like button, select subscribe, share the video, do all that stuff, and help me grow my user network so that I can make more of these videos. I'll see you again on Monday. You guys have an awesome weekend. Cheers, bye.